You're back on the air with the Restaurant Brokers. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, and we sell restaurants. Today, we're talking to food trucks, operators, experts, enthusiasts, getting all the information you need to know in case you want to pursue a career in the food truck part of the restaurant industry.
And our third guest today, Robin, is very successful food truck operator. Mr. Thomas DeGeest from Wafels Dinges was founded in 2007 by Thomas, a native of Belgium who missed eating the tasty snack of his youth. Wafels Dinges makes authentic Brussels and Liège waffles. Dinges means what you might call it in Flemish. The iconic yellow truck was a pioneer among the gourmet food carts, was a winner of the Food Network's Throwdown with Bobby Flay, and is a past Vendy Award winner for the best street vendor desserts, and was a #1 Zagat rated food truck in New York City. Thomas, thank you for joining us today.
Great to be here.
Great. Well, let's jump right in. I mean, that's quite an impressive resume for your food truck. Right in New York City, you're the epicenter of unique restaurants, and you're certainly no stranger to food trucks and street vendors. How in the world did you come up with a concept that was going to immediately be iconic and award-winning in such a crowded and competitive market?
Right. When we started in 2007, the market was very different from what it is today. So I would say that our success has been a combination of really hard work, good branding, a great product, and luck, like for most entrepreneurs. The timing was really perfect in the sense that we were the first food truck, gourmet food truck, let's say, in New York City. And that created a lot of excitement. There was also the emergence of food bloggers at that time. Food blogging was really taking off. It was really the interest in food and food shows as such was starting to grow. And we were really at the beginning of that trend. So it was really good timing. But then, of course, also, we have a great product and we keep on working on that. We have a great design, great brand, and try to do all the things right that you have to do right.
So you went from food truck to brick and mortar, correct? Because that's the dream of a lot of food truck operators.
Yeah, and it wasn't necessarily my dream. I thought that we would really be able to build a nice-sized business with food trucks in New York City. But what's happened in the industry really, especially in New York, it may be different in other markets, but New York is getting extremely saturated with food trucks. The legislative framework is not very clear how, in terms of what is legal and what is not legal for vending of food from a truck. And so I was faced with the question, how am I really going to grow? And at the end of the day, the answer was, well, let's take a model that we feel pretty safe about. And that was the brick and mortar. So that we're trying that now. We have our first brick and mortar running in the East Village of New York. It's going great, I would say. And we think it's going to be a viable model to expand further to other cities.
Great, Thomas. You have an interesting background that a lot of our listeners are maybe in the same shoes you are. You were at a well-paying corporate job with IBM, and one day you decided, hey, there's something better for me out there from a lifestyle perspective and a future. Tell us a bit about what ended up making you want to leave a high-level corporate job to sell waffles and out of a food truck.
Right, it was a big change. I had a salary, and salaries are great. Working for IBM, traveling the world really, because I was on a plane pretty much every day, every week, between Asia, Europe, and the United States. But I was at that time, I was 37. I was close to making, partner with IBM, or at least well on track. And it didn't really appeal to me to be doing the same type of work in the same type of setting for another 20 years of my career. So being from Belgium, that sort of gives me a natural, I guess, authority on waffles. And I've always thought, the waffles in America could use a little help. And so the original plan was actually, at that time, to open a restaurant, a small kiosk. And as I was in the planning stages, I heard about a food truck for sale. And it was, like so many things in life, it was a lucky decision to go that route instead. Instead of investing $400,000, I invested $40,000. And it proved to be a brilliant move. In hindsight, it was a brilliant move because the timing was right, the model was right, the cost structure was great. So it was really a great way to start the company.
Well, you have achieved one of Eric's goals in life, which is to compete with Bobby Flay and win. Tell us about that Food Network Throwdown where you walked away the winner.
Well, I really didn't know much about Bobby Flay when the Food Network called me up, and they didn't tell me it was for Bobby Flay. So I had never seen a show, and I had only met him once in person in New York City. So I kind of knew his face, but when the show was
you can't tell Food Network you don't know who Bobby Flay is.
Well, now I do.
Okay.
But when they were recording the show, when we were putting it together, I had no idea. And when he finally showed up, I saw a lot of commotion because he showed up, and I realized this is the guy I met 10 days ago. But I couldn't remember his name, so I said, "Hey, man!" And then, fortunately, my staff knew, "Thomas, that's Bobby Flay. That's Bobby Flay." And, oh, wow, this is great. This is fantastic. It's a very difficult product to make. Our waffles, especially the Liège waffles. He made a noble attempt to come close, but it really wasn't great. What he did. I mean, he's a great chef, but this particular style waffle, you really need a lot of craftsmanship to put it together. And his toppings were fantastic. His toppings were much better than ours, but the actual waffle was a little dry and a little, lacked a little flavor. Let's say it that way.
Okay, I'm not going to tell
Bob. He's a great guy. I love Bobby Flay.
But there you have it, folks. Bobby Flay is human. He is beatable. Thomas did it. Congratulations, Thomas. That's a great story.
Yes. Oh, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this segment because this is fascinating. I love hearing about your food truck come now restaurant with a product that actually means whatchamacallits in Flemish. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon. You are listening to the Restaurant Brokers live on the radio, and we will be back with another segment right after this brief commercial break. Remember, you can find us online at WeSellRestaurants.com. Follow us on Facebook at Facebook.com/WeSellRestaurants, and check us out on Twitter. Our handle, Sell Restaurants. We'll be back.